Right when I joined Navy, तो सर पहले होता था फौज है तो इसमें अथॉरिटी होगी, इसमें कमांड करना होगा, इसमें ऑर्डर्स देने होंगे. बट as I joined military, I understood that it's more of responsibility as well, along with authority. जिस दिन आज मेरे पास तनख्वाह आ रही है, मुझे फौज ने नौकरी दी है, तो मुझे पता होना चाहिए मुझे क्या डिलीवर करना है. बस मुझे इतना चाहिए सर. अगर ये मुझे समझ में आ गया, पीपल विल रिस्पेक्ट.
What is that one habit that you picked up from Navy, and you find that corporate leaders struggle to develop that today?
कॉर्पोरेट में पता होता है कि हमें ये डिलीवर करना है, फौज में ये डिलीवर करना है. फौज में सिर्फ सीओ एक दिन आके कहता है ये करके दिखाओ. Right, give me a PPT. I mean today only. So morning में बैठ के PPT बना रहे in such format, right? But corporate has given us a kind of a leeway कि हाँ, you give me in 2 days, 1 day as per your comfortability.
Namaskar, Jai Hind. I'm delighted to welcome Commander Nitika Rai, a distinguished veteran of the Indian Navy, an accomplished corporate leader, and an adventure enthusiast. Today I shall explore her extraordinary journey from uniformed service office to the boardroom leadership. Her insights on resilience, strategy, and value-driven leadership. We shall also discuss the lessons that she has carried forward into every aspect of her life. Whether you are a veteran, a corporate professional, or an inspiring leader, this conversation with Nitika promises actionable insights and inspiration from someone who has actually lived leadership at its highest level. So let's go and talk to Nitika herself. Hello Nitika, heartiest welcome.
Thank you, sir. Jain, sir. Pleasure to be back again.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Wonderful. I keep reading so many good things about you, and I compliment you and keep bashing the world with all the good things in your life.
Likewise, sir. Likewise.
And today I specially invited you, a woman leader who has made mark for herself in the corporate world. The leader you're meeting is Commander Nitika. Commander Nitika Rai has been a naval officer, and she's proven her mettle there. And having served and done her tenure, finally she hung up her boots and has joined the bigger ship, a corporate ship, a bigger leadership place. And today we talk to her with that perspective. Today I invite Commander Nitika for a one-to-one, face-to-face, heart-to-heart talk on her life and lessons that we can draw with respect to leadership. और मेरा selfish motive ये है कि I talk on leadership. Or leadership for the world is very humble, simple to understand, but so difficult to execute. जब टीम को हिलाना पड़ता है तो जान लग जाती है. So Nitika, आइए आपसे बात करते हैं. I'm sure people will enjoy the interaction and your experience in the Navy.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving me platform.
Yeah, honor. The first question goes, and it says, when people look at your journey, you've been through your life before Navy, during Navy, and now the corporate leadership. You've been a great leader, you've been a great adventurer. In this entire journey of yours, what do you believe is the common leadership thread that runs through and through?
Yeah. Thank you for the question, sir. What I understand, sir, like from childhood, and my childhood memory says that before even joining Navy, or my dad always used to say that always lead with example. You know, always try to give facts. People will respect you for the facts and figures, right? You keep on talking, people will not agree. You give them figures or you show them the results. So that legacy I always carried with myself till now also. Or whenever I try to prove myself, I show the entire world or the community which I'm leading my results. And that's how people respect me. So whether in college, you say that I finished my, maths book. I've written chapters, I have solved questions. But once during the exam, when the results come, that's what you are, people recognize you. Oh, she is a topper, she get 90%. You keep on talking, people will not agree. So again, when joining Navy, my men would respect me if I show them that I know I have a knowledge, I'm physically fit, I'm competent enough to lead you, right? And showing is again going with them hand in hand, not talking, but actually executing what is given to you, right? And that cohesiveness comes, and it actually naturally comes. Um, Even in corporate, while I transition, I wasn't aware of anything, to be very frank, neither the jargons, because for 10, 11 years, you've been into military. Here, the jargons are completely different. And I tried to learn from the junior most person to at least to the senior leadership. I used to talk to them. I used to at least monitor them. What are they doing? Monitor their actions and try to imbibe those qualities in me, the good qualities, and then I have to show them the results. To my understanding, common thread is uh, showing the team with an example. Always try to lead with an example. Instead of saying that do 10 push-ups, you also need to do 10, right? People will
Beautiful.
not agree, right? So I think that's very important, even in the family, right? Merely talking would not help. The result, absolutely, if you don't talk, they will show. So,
But results very, very, very quietly show where you stand.
yeah,
Now, if
yes.
that be your stance, let me understand your definition of leadership since the time you wore uniform or now.
So, so actually, my definition of leadership since I wore uniform has actually evolved, right? When I joined Navy, तो सर पहले होता था फौज है तो इसमें अथॉरिटी होगी, इसमें कमांड करना होगा, इसमें ऑर्डर्स देने होंगे. But as I joined military, I understood that it's more of responsibility as well, along with authority. It's more of understanding the men, it's more of understanding the orders, taking the negatives in a positive way, right? Because even in our training, whatever we are being told to do, you are puking, it's very hard for us to, get trained for every young officer during her training or his training days. We've been told, but we have a reason behind it, and that reason is they are trying to make us a good officer, right? So what I understand is leadership is more about taking ownership, taking responsibility, command over control. Yes, that's the definition, but empathy also comes there, right? When we talk about situational leadership, right, you cannot be authoritative at all times. You need to understand the situation and take action. So I think going forward in my career for 10 years and now in corporate, I always understood and I always take leadership depending upon the situation. And also to who is my team, who is my audience, and what's the goal, right? So there are three things which matters. One is the situation, audience, and what is the outcome, right? Um and as a layman, everybody thinks that leadership is just like giving orders, do this, do that, right? But now, for past 11 years plus 4 years here, 14 years, it has been changed, and that's all through experience.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do I understand it's been an adaptive leadership all along as you
Yes,
went on?
it has been adapted.
Excellent. Let me take you to a complex situation and a difficult
All
question.
right.
Nothing great difficult. It just I feel it is difficult. You may fly in and fly out so simply. The life in Navy and the profession as such, Army, Navy, Air Force, all of us have been through that kind of environment. In Navy specialty, especially, the leadership often means responsibility and responsibility without comfort and at huge cost. And therefore, when I look at leadership at you and the Navy, the question I pose is what does this leadership demand when things go wrong at sea?
Yep. So, sir, um, you know, things when you are working, things have to go wrong, right? One must understand that acceptance is very important. There's One example, which a mishap happened on 18 December 2024 at INS Brahmaputra during a refit. Um, and INS Brahmaputra, to everybody's knowledge, is a Brahmaputra class guided missile frigate, and it was undergoing a refit. And a mishap happened, a fire broke out, and of course, one junior sailor, was missing following the incident, uh, uh, and it was all happened when this ship wasn't sailing during the refit. It happens, right? So I think that's a very important point, right? Uh, when I got inducted into the Navy, sir, I must tell you, फौज में फोन होता है, एटलीस्ट लाइंस में बात हो जाती है, बट शिप जब सेल करती है तो आपकी कनेक्टिविटी नहीं रहती. you know when you throw the I card in the water, you're gone, right? Mm. So psychologically you're very strong when you're on board ship and when the ship is sailing, right? um Also, to your question, sir, mishap will happen. And in forces we are being told um, to be very, very careful to follow a guided, SOPs, standard operating procedures, and we all follow because everybody knows. And if you don't follow, there are strict punishments. But what if that kind? What if is always there? And if what if happens, we also have SOPs. Why it happened? Is there any uncertainty? Some storm happened, कोई बाढ़ आ गई, कुछ आ गई, उसमें कोई problem. That is external factors, environmental factors, internal men factors. You know, these factors plays a very important role. So I think acceptance is important. And when we accept the fact that 1% error is always there out of 99%, out of 100%, we accept that, we always take action, we try to improve, we try to understand what has led to the failure, and we learn from it. That is why जब भी कोई मिसहैप होता है सर, उसके बाद एक रिपोर्ट बनती है, and then report calls it out. And in all news media and everywhere, everything is not being called out. बस एक line आती है कि this happened, that's it. Because we try to investigate much deeper, understand that why it has happened, and what are the remedial actions we can take so that it should not happen. And some things are not in our control. We can always follow SOPs, and always, Fauj mein to sir, discipline is always there. So we have to follow orders, and we have to be proactively aligned to the orders given by our commanding officers. So I think and we have to switch our mind as well. जब mishap हुआ है, तो we have to immediately try to understand why it happened, instead of sitting and blaming others, right? I think that's not what forges. So we always have to carry a men along.
Beautiful,
So
beautiful. It's not a blame game event.
no, it's not a
Uh,
blame game. Absolutely not.
Life can go through ups
That's
and
not,
downs.
yeah, that's not we have joined Forge.
Yeah, and what you beautifully explained is that, well, mishap can happen, but during those things, how did you respond to it? How well you collected your team and acted upon is, I think, is extremely well. I can share an example. कि हम in during terrorist fire, and when you're firing, exchanging fire, you may get hit. So if your soldier gets hit, what do you do? It's a fire. It's a live fire. Similarly, in Navy, if something goes wrong, like this Brahmaputra, which went on its side, it's a mishap that we should not repeat. And what you said is, I think, phenomenal.
Yeah. One
Coming
more
on
thing,
to,
sir, I want to bring up here, sir. Recently, Op Sindoor happened, right? So, and I have been hearing with a number of officers, and there were three senior officers who were just there in the media and talking about it, right? One of the Air Force officer, I don't remember sir's name, but I just want to, and I learned from him. He said, if the deaths are happening, that's what the forge is. Why we want to number people we have lost? We need not to number them, right? That
absolutely,
and that's absolutely fine, right? That's absolutely fine because that was an operation, and in that it's supposed to happen. That was a decided operation. So, thought of calling it out here.
absolutely. And now, in this entire imbroglio, you as a woman officer
Yep.
and leadership expectations, you know, as a male in the male dominated defense services, a woman as a leader, what are those leadership expectations which are different even when nobody is watching you, nobody says aloud to you, But in this overall male-dominated organization, what leadership expectations were different that you observed from a lady
Yes,
officer?
yeah. Yep. So actually, it's a good question. When I joined in 2010, my father, he that time, I mean, of course, the male were dominating the family as well, right? To start with, and we are two sisters and one brother, and I'm the eldest. I went to
So
Navy.
actually, you females dominated the family. Three of you, two sisters, mother, and one brother and father. तो domination तो आपका था.
सर अभी अभी बस बात स्टार्ट हुई है सर. So so when I was being told, when I was selected in Navy, so my father used to say that, you know, you are going as a logistic officer there, and you need to prove yourself, right? But when I went there, जब 2010 की बात है sir, that kind of stereotyping mindset has kind of diminished now, but still there. But that time it was there. Right now we have been talking about feminism. We are more talking about, ladies reaching the top, girls breaking the glass ceiling, right? But that time in 2010, right? Uh, uh, that time also, but that time also that was male dominating thing. But sir, if you prove yourself, right, sir, and that's the same thing, leading by example, people will respect you for what you are doing, right? Even
Excellent.
men, even so, no, when nobody is watching, you have to mend your ways. As an officer, when I got selected, it was always like I should know my work. जिस दिन आज से मेरे पास तनख्वाह आ रही है, मुझे फौज ने नौकरी दी है, तो मुझे पता होना चाहिए मुझे क्या डिलीवर करना है. बस मुझे इतना चाहिए सर. अगर ये मुझे समझ में आ गया, पीपल विल रिस्पेक्ट मी. क्या डिलीवर, हाउ आई हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ men, I have to get the work done for my men, I have to be together with them, I have to face the uncertainty with them, I have to take care of their families. Apart from professional, तो हमारा सर वो होता था, जब मीट होती थी तो ऑफिसर, लेडी ऑफिसर जवान की वाइफ से मिलने जाती थी सर, राइट? सो दैट काइंड ऑफ बॉन्डिंग, राइट? तब मैं सर 22 साल की थी, मतलब. तो आपका वो माइंडसेट, विद एन ओपन माइंड, यू हैव टू टॉक टू देम, टू अंडरस्टैंड, टू सिट विद देम. तो सर वो जब चीजें फौजी देखता है, जो के नीचे कमांड, जो आप कोर्समेट्स, आपके सीनियर्स, सब, ऑल मेल्स, व्हेन दे लुक एट यू एट दैट एंगल, they will automatically respect you. They will salute you, right? And
But
I have seen that
yeah.
thing growing, sir. पहले एविएशन यूनिट में मेरी पोस्टिंग आई थी सर, एज ए सब लेफ्टिनेंट. कुछ नहीं मालूम था सर, ओनली एयरफोर्स ऑफिसर आ रहे थे. आई वाजंट अवेयर ऑफ देयर रैंक्स. मैंने सर गूगल वहीं करा है, टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर देयर रैंक्स, बिकॉज वी नो नेवी रैंक्स, एंड आई वाज सब लेफ्टिनेंट दैट टाइम, एंड उनके रैंक्स थोड़े स्लीक होते हैं, सो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट टाइम फॉर मी. सो आई लर्नड इट. तो मेरे माँ साहब कहते थे, मैडम आपने, आपको कैसे पता? मैंने फिर मैं आई यूज्ड टू डू होमवर्क.
Mhm.
And then, and that's how all Jawans and everybody is. But I think,
But in this very high pressure job that you went
huh,
through,
so,
how did you actually earn your trust, and how did you build your personal authority or charisma in such a difficult environment and male-dominated environment?
so being calm under pressure, sir. I think that what matters, sir. Pressure is there, sir. Deliverables are there, right? You can't make men work by shouting, right? uh, आइदर अब बोल दिया कि 8 बजे तक काम करना है, आज काम बहुत ज्यादा, तो आपको भी बैठना है 8 बजे तक. ये नहीं मैडम उठ के चली गई हैं और काम दे दिया, फिर फोन से वो कर रही है लाइस. तो सर आई थिंक बीइंग विद देम, right, I think this is very deeply human, sir. And it's very connected also, sir. In the sense that professionally, to make people work, right, that's an art of getting things done by people. That's what management is, and we're being told at very early nascent stage, sir. So, sir, I think to deal calmly under pressure, and to be, and to, you know stand out for them, sir. When people ask who has done the work, these guys have done it, right? uh,
Beautiful.
to tell them that they have actually done it. And जब आप उनको आगे खड़ा करोगे ना, तो सर फिर अलग ही मोटिवेशन, देयर इज अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ मोटिवेशन व्हिच किक्स इन. सर
Yeah.
वो जवान संडे को भी आके आपके साथ काम करेगा,
क्या बात
you
है.
know so I
Lovely.
think rewards and recognitions, and that comes later. But
Hmm.
again, in front of people around, when you talk, oh, this guy has done it, right, and praise about them, then your team would be fully motivated. And that's why we say together everyone achieves more. That's team.
Absolutely, absolutely. What is that one habit that that you picked up from Navy And you find that corporate leaders struggle to develop that today.
So I think so. Corporate lead. So in Navy, right? When we got inducted, so we were not aware of the corporate. I mean, I have never worked in corporate. So base that's why, sir, corporate always take courses with them because they know anything you give it to Fauji, he will do it. He or she will do it. Right? Why? Because uh, we have done the work under those situations um, wherein the results were unknown, right? So where so we have deal with uncertainty. Corporate में पता होता है कि हमें ये डिलीवर करना है, फौज में ये डिलीवर करना है, फौज में सिर्फ सीईओ एक दिन आके कहता है ये करके दिखाओ, right? Give me a PPT. I mean, today only. So morning में बैठ के PPT बना रहे in such format, right? But corporate has given us a kind of a leeway. कि हाँ, you give me in 2 days, 1 day as per your comfortability. So I think uh, uh, quick decision making, sir, and not giving. I mean, the deadlines has. I mean, has to be little fixed, sir. क्योंकि फौज में ना सर बहुत big deadlines होती हैं. Corporate में we have a kind of a bandwidth, you know. And मेरे तो सर बहुत escalations हुए हैं because I was never maybe kind of a thing. I was like yes or no, and here we get that, bandwidth of saying okay, I'll take 2 days to deliver, right? Um, I think if the timelines are very strict and if it starts from top to bottom and from bottom to top both ways, right? I think everybody will deliver and the things will be much delivered on timeline and the procrastination would happen less. Generally, what happens? A project timeline delay hoti rehti hai, and which everybody is fine with. But फौज में नहीं होता सर ऐसे. फौज में डिलीवर करना है नहीं करना है तो क्यों नहीं किया? We have to give a reason, right? That's one, sir. Second is working under pressure, sir. हमारे पास we can work under pressure calmly. I can deliver. So that I've learned from Forge. Corporate में 5 मीटिंग करनी है, ये करना है, so I'm always calm. I want to know what I have to deliver and what time frame I have to deliver and whether I have the data with me. And then I will deliver. If I will not be able to deliver, I will raise it up beforehand. So I think time management and working under pressure of
Beautiful. That's, I think,
फौजी
very, very,
से
very
सर ज्यादा किसी को आता नहीं है.
serious leadership that you're developing, and your lived experiences themselves would give a lot to the audience and who are listening, especially at the level of CEOs and above. The pressures are very high.
और
They have to deliver, and he is so lonely at the top. So is with the Navy or Army and Air Force.
yeah,
But what you find is,
yeah,
a disciplined way of functioning that releases the pressures, that gives you a way out, and you can methodically achieve that. And after all, corporate is an outcome of Lashkar only. Good old days, 1800 onwards, all wars, etc., were fought, and that's how the entire logistics chain would follow. And gradually, to provide Forge with all that stuff, you developed a business world. People, talented people followed them, and you needed those craftsmen. Now, the same very set of people are developing fabulous things for the society, growth and development. So, I think corporate is an offshoot of Forge, wherein there is so much more that corporate has actually learned. And a lot of places, I find that we need to learn back from them. Because they're learning, their speed of learning is fast, their objectives are very clear. Forge has to
that's
deal
correct.
with so many more. Thank you for this insight
Yes,
into the leadership habits. And I'm sure the corporates would love to interact more
yes,
with the Army, Navy, and Air Force, and mutually we learn. Right. While you at Navy had done all that was told to you and different stuff, and you didn't know what life is going to be tomorrow morning. It was only tomorrow morning will reveal what you have in store. And when you transited to corporate, I'm sure you went through that some phase wherein uniform to corporate life, you face those challenges. Are there any challenges that you underestimated? while transiting into civil?
Yes, sir. 2021, July 2021, I got retired, sir. Um, and that was a COVID time, sir. And we were doing IFT. From IFT, I was doing my course, that is pre-release course. That was
We did
global.
that together. That's where I
We did
found
it.
the talent in you.
We we did that together, sir. And I
Yes.
was lucky enough to meet you, sir, that time. Uh, so and it was in global supply chain management, sir. And since I was a logistic officer, I preferred doing that was 3 months course, and we did it mostly. It was offline course. So but I remember, sir, तब मुझे था ये दिमाग में कि when I retire and when there is my when my CEO will give a farewell speech, he should say that Nitika has earned 3 jobs, like a minimum three to sir बोले. So so sir, when that was there in my mind, and 5th July को I was retiring, so I was in a thought that 6th July को मेरे पास पैसा आना चाहिए, एक बार भी ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि मेरे अकाउंट में पैसा नहीं आया, तो ये दिमाग में था सर दैट
महीना
टाइम.
खाली जाए.
हाँ सर, एक भी दिन ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. सो 11 years after retiring, तो सर ये होता था व्हेन आई वाज यूज्ड टू, तब लिंक्डइन आई वाज वेरी एक्टिव, तो लिंक्डइन प्रीमियम लिया सर, उस पे प्रोफाइल एक्टिव करी, एंड I was working. And then I used to approach various senior leadership. Some will give thumbs up. Of course, the leadership outside is not free, right? Some will not reply, some will reply, right? And we used to share resume. People will not reciprocate, right? Which was again okay. Then again, a female lady is approaching, right? We have to be very, very careful, right? In terms of what we want, right? And what positions we are looking for. फौजी है बाहर तो इतना टेक्निकली साउंड नहीं है, एटलीस्ट ऑपरेशंस सो ही कैन डू, सिक्योरिटी अगेन एवरी फौजी कैन डू इट, राइट? तो सर आई वाज अप्रोचिंग, आई appeared for Flipkart, sir, rejected. 6 months cooling period, sat there. Appeared for Amazon, rejected. 6 months cooling period, sat there. Appeared for delivery, rejected, right, sir? So I think the most underestimated, like you is a complacent attitude of a फौजी कि कहीं भी हो जाएगा. सर ऐसे नहीं होगा, इंटरव्यू के लिए पढ़ाई करनी पड़ेगी. यू हैव टू बी यू हैव टू prepare yourself in and out. You have to study, you have to take notes, you have to prepare your introduction even, sir. Tell me about yourself, you have to prepare. That's an elevator's pitch, you know. Interviewer is not bad, is does not know about you, right? If you say my CEO did, how will a company, I mean, what will company do? Your CEO did it, right? What you can deliver to the company, they're interested in that. So I think that failure gave me an understanding that Nitika, you have to sit back. It's not an easy thing. There are 4, 5 rounds, right? And you have to prepare for it. So diligently, sir, day in, day out, I used to study. I have to, in front of a mirror, you have to ask questions and answer, right? And you have to understand about the company as well, so that the interviewer feels that you are interested in joining his or her company, right? And you need to tell them the facts. When facts talk about the percentage, the data, they don't want I got CNS commendation. What next? Right? What does it help me? Why I got? Because I deliver 80% this, 40% this, inclination happened this. That data they want, right? And what was the situation? Then you have to follow a star approach. Situation, task, action, result. Right? So I understood this. So I talked to various other officers who were doing very well in corporate. And I think the listening matters most. Transitioning officers have to go and liaise. And as a lady officer, for us, it was very difficult to talk to people, right? And that that we broke out, right? We know how to talk to them, what jargons to use, how to pitch ourselves, right? And how to, refrain. Both ways we have to be very, very, balanced. So I think the most underestimated is that हो जाएगा फौज के बाद तो ऐसे नहीं होगा. And I got 3 offers, sir, Flipkart, EY, and delivery. So I choose EY because that time EY was giving me work from home. So
Beautiful, beautiful. So, with this kind of competition and the requirement of upgrading oneself, did you ever experience loss of identity after you left services? And how did you rebuild?
yes, yeah. So loss of, so once you went, I mean, I'm selected and I'm going to a company, you don't know anything, right? Number one. अ, आपको ये नहीं पता होता कि करना क्या है, डिलीवर क्या, तो आपको लगता है कि कहाँ, वेयर आई हैव लैंडेड इन, राइट, आई डोंट नो. And there are people to train, but they cannot be with you 24 hours, right? You need to buy time. So I think one must understand that you are a Fauji, right? It should not come to your head, but at least inside you should know that you're a Fauji, and to gain respect you need to first respect them. So we need to go to them saying that, see, I have come from this is my background, I don't know, can you tell me? First accept the fact that you don't know, राइट. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपको सब कुछ आएगा, बस उनको फौज का नहीं आता, आपको कॉर्पोरेट का नहीं आता. दे आर इक्वली, दे हैव 11 years of corporate experience, you have 11 years of forge experience, right? Both are absolutely different things. Please respect, because you have to work, right? So you have to work for them, you have to work for the company, and you have to work for yourself as well. So I think to rebuild meaningfully, you have to understand that you don't know, and you have to tell people, say, I don't know, can you help me out? People are there to help.
Mm.
Just be grounded. Don't, I mean, ranks should be there, but ranks should be inside, right? But be grounded and try to understand what people will respect you. Oh, she's lieutenant commander, she doesn't know, she came to me, right? And she understood, now she is doing well, right? I always praise sir. अभी भी मैं बोलती हूँ कि मुझे वो स्टाफ लेवल में उसने मुझे सिखाया था. मैं हर जगह बोलती हूँ सर. ही फील सो एलिवेटेड कि मैंने आपसे सीखा है. बिकॉज एक्चुअली आई हैव लर्न. जैसे हम सर फौज में अपने जवानों से नहीं सीखते हैं एज सब लेफ्टिनेंट, माँ साहब के साथ बैठ के देखते हैं क्या हो रहा है, एज अ ट्रेनी. So that's how I relive those memories in corporate.
But military or the naval leadership, we all rely on command. Whereas corporate leadership, it relies on influence. How did you adapt?
Military
Wasn't
leadership
it
also
very difficult?
relies on influencer. मैंने सर first question में ही, when I said leading by example, they get influencer. And sir, फौज में you know people see you, and the people learn from you as well. There are officers who are commanding a ship, writing a book also, publishing the papers also, right? How they are getting time? That's how the junior officers, और हम भी मोटिवेट होते हैं, अरे वो मैम ने वो पेपर भी लिख दिया, इंडियन मैरिटाइम यूनिवर्सिटी में उनका पेपर भी छप गया. How she is finding time, so I want to talk to her. So I think influence also matters. Command is one, sir. Command, I think, is not a everyday thing, right? Every day you don't give command, right? I think command comes with authority, but I think influence also plays a very pivotal role, right? And because you have lot many people to influence. कई बार तो सर सीनियर ऑफिसर्स को देखकर ही you get influenced, the way they walk, the way they talk, right? Depending upon. And sir, like you in Forge also, sir, different commands are there. Armored officer will talk differently, sir. Engineer will talk differently, right? And you learn, you just look to them. And sir, I don't know much of Forge, but I happen to see through my husband this thing. I still learn from them, even in corporate leaders. The way they talk, the way they pitch, right? So
I'll come to your husband and family life very shortly.
for
But
sure.
before that, now that you transited, you succeeded in the corporate. What mistakes do you find that we veterans make while joining the corporates or while transiting? How can they
Uh,
avoid these mistakes?
So I think these are not mistakes, sir. I think officers don't know, right? And that's not their fault, because there are some officers who have not been communicating much with people around. There are some officers who have a kind of a complacent attitude कि अगर हम इस इंडस्ट्री में जा रहे हैं and हमें ये certifications करनी है तो हमारे लिए easy होगा. So I was trying to say that as for the veterans, right? Since I've been here for 4.5 years in corporate, I must say that nothing comes easy, right? And even if you have done certification, you have to prove through your work, right? Mere giving examples does not matter. Giving results and business to the company matters a lot, right? And also in corporate, so we need so everyday upgradation is happening now. AI is coming up, sir. So I think too much of upskilling is required. And too much of upskilling is required for you to talk even, sir. We cannot talk to a senior leadership if we don't know what's happening around. So for that, we need to keep on learning every day, sir. I must say, you need to get up and read a newspaper at least to talk to people, uh, at least on some context. If I'm in EVA, at least I should know what's happening around in my domain, right? So that I can converse. So as a veteran, right, we have done a good thing, as an officer, we have done well. Now what's next? I cannot keep on saying I'm a veteran. right? That's fine. But what today I'm doing, right? Um, for example, I'm a veteran, but people expect that Nitika has to be lean, fit, right? But today my priorities are different, right? People expectations would be different from the officers, but people will respect for what you're delivering it today. What are you doing today, Nitika? So are you running today? Are you doing that? That's what inner, फौजी is, sir. कि वो उसके अंदर है क्योंकि ये कर रही है, ये नहीं उसने करा है। तो सर ये भी मेरा नहीं चलेगा 10th में टॉप करा था, वो कोई नहीं मानेगा सर। आज आपने क्या किया है उस पे पीपल
Lovely. I'm
दैट
sure.
वेटरन्स शुड अंडरस्टैंड।
Yeah, I'm sure the veterans would be benefited. Coming to your personal family life and how you managing it, I observe that you from Navy, your husband has been from Army, and while both serving, you raised your own family. How does the shared service relationship shape your leadership within the family and in the profession?
So I got retired in 2021, and Sumit got retired in 2020 three 2023. So and so so that that plays a very important role when you decide to marry an officer, right? कि अब फौजी है, you have married a फौजी, so you know these things will happen. Number one, you will not stay together, right? Because you're from different services. Number two is you need to respect and understand that for both the professions are important. So the reason which we came out from Forge is number one to stay together, sir, and because one has to be passive, sir. Both cannot be an active workers. I think that's what I understand. That's my personal input. We got a child as well, but we always जब हम सुबह उठते हैं and our if we both want to run, we always say, okay, when are you running today? This time? Okay, I'll take out time this. So I think mutual respect and trying to understand the favorites of each other, and giving space. I think that's very important, sir. Um, because yeah, giving space is very important because he has to go office, I have to work at home, because mine is work from home. So I think we need to respect and balance in such a manner that child is not affected, right? Our careers are not affected, and our relationship is not affected. Um, so we have to play logical every time. Emotions come, sir, but I think we need to be more logical because then only, sir, चलेगी sir. Otherwise, तो फिर
But both of you have been very strong leaders.
sir.
And for a Fauji being a strong leader means your ego, your status, male domination, many more things that come into play. How do you manage all this ego, emotional space, and
The ego has not, it's not been the leadership with ego, that it's not, is not equal to ego. Leader, it's not equal to ego, sir. Because sir, I think again, this bond is deeply human, sir. What I understand is, हम sir, like I want quote Indra Nooyi, sir. Indra Nooyi is different in office and different at home, right? My husband is different in office, different at home. Similarly, I'm different in office and different. So जब सर and we balance, और 9 to 6 काम कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद काम नहीं कर रहे हैं सर, तो जो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं उसमें काम की बात ही नहीं हो रही है, so there is no ego, right? And we both are earning, so I'm earning for myself, he's earning for the family, I'm also earning for the family. So I think now we are very matured, sir, to talk about this. And it has been already 8 years, 9 years in marriage, sir. So I think we have graduated, right? पहले होता था सर कि मेरे भी छुट्टी नहीं मिल रही मुझे, he used to say मेरे को भी छुट्टी नहीं मिल रही, so कैसे मिले फिर? Initially it used to happen and it's very natural. I always like this kind of a question, sir, क्योंकि ये होता था. But now we have graduated, right? Up to this level. I think that's more because of a kid, sir. Because uh, we need to give some time to her as well. I've seen my course mate. One is flying, one is on board ship, and kid is with the grandparents, right? Which is again what they have chosen in their life, right? Which is again fine. But for me, I must say that I think we always leave our work at home, my work in office, and we are different at home. Right. So I think. That's my sir.
I must respect and salute your maturity, the way you're thinking, and the same for your husband. But you are also an adventurer. You recently went for a marathon. You
So,
prepared so hard for this. How was this?
so
How are you again managing your adventurous activities with family and keeping your passion high?
yeah, sir. I'm actually learning from my husband. He completed his Ironman, sir. He completed his Ironman in November. Sorry, this was November 9th at Goa. And he was kind of a very dedicated to, when one of in a family, when one is, little disciplined, you always try to follow him, either me or he used to see me and I am seeing him, because the reason is, sir, number one, we both are Fauji's and we have an interest, right? So you know it well, right? We have an interest of running, of doing kind of an adventure activities that is inbuilt in us, right? Running is such a thing, sir, that it incurs no cost, right? It's free of cost. Get up, wear your shoes and run. तो इसमें
Lovely.
सर कोई, हाँ सर, उठ के बस दौड़ना ही है सर, बाकी अगर आपको दौड़ नहीं पा रहे हैं तो वॉक कर लीजिए, आई थिंक। एंड फौजी के लिए तो सर फिर दौड़ लो, अगर 1 आध किलोमीटर तो इतना तो करना ही है सर, बहुत दौड़े हैं तो। सो आई थिंक दैट्स वन, एंड सिंस यू बीन ट्रेनिंग फॉर स्विमिंग, साइकिलिंग एंड रनिंग, सो मैंने कहा कि व्हाई नॉट आई टच एटलीस्ट 21 kilometers, राइट? So I started, and my society is such, sir. Actually, the Syrian and environment is such that it makes you that civilians are running. So why not us, right? So we have 23 officers as well in my society, retired officers. So
Wow.
kind of lucky enough to be in this kind of environment, because environment also plays a role, and also the and my daughter also, she also said that, Mama, I also want to run, because these are your running shoes. You're going for a run, okay? So I think and it's a very boring thing, sir. You keep on running, लोगों को बहुत boring लगती है, but it it makes you kind of a discipline. आप कुछ सोच, there are so many thoughts coming, sir. अभी मैंने, when I was running today in the morning, I was thinking what I should answer, how will I connect with you, right? Those kind of questions, keep on running, and you get answers while running. Such a kind of sport. I always love it. So my next run is in Delhi, sir. Now next run is in Delhi. So I think we always try to manage our time and give space to each other. Even if we are not able to, then we always balance it out in next months or coming days. So I think it's understandable, sir. It's a
Great.
mutual journey. Yeah.
Great. Let me take you to the other side. What is
So
that one failure or setback that quietly reshaped your leadership? Failures are pillar of success. What are your failures that made you a great leader?
so taking too much of responsibility. Uh, you know, responsibility is one, delegating is another task, sir. Um, I was like, I can do it. I know this. I can do it. I want a credit. That was way back, sir. मैं सब लेफ्ट की बात कर रही हूँ. I can do this also. I can do this also. Give me this also. Give me that also. But now, sir, God maybe, or abhi corporate maybe, I think delegate things. You know, because now we are in that position, right? Even as Fauji also. Very important to know what your team is capable of, or what you have made them capable of, so that in the end you can see, oh, my children, my team members have done this because I have made them do this, right? And um and I think dedication does not comes with you doing everything, because I cannot, master. We always say, jack of all trades, master of none. So don't become master, right? You should know things. Like, I don't know, like, for example, sir, you might not know everything. I also don't know. I mean, you know something which I don't know, right? We always learn from each other. But I cannot say at the end of the day, I know everything. I know AI also. I am tech. I can learn everything. So I think that's a kind of a foolishness. So I think initially I used to take responsibility of everything, and now I've started delegating responsibility. But for the failures, I take responsibilities, because that's the team thing, right? When I'm delegating, I'm also responsible in understanding what my team is delivering. So I think that's the setback from setback I've learned.
What is that one or two qualities
Sir.
um, as a leader that you would like to leave behind as legendary stories beyond titles, beyond roles? People would say कि Nitika आई थी and I'd love to do the way she did. आपकी legendary story क्या है?
The I think uh, the people will people will always say, sir, ठीक है, नितिका हवा में बात नहीं करती है, sir. I think that's
Wow,
that's
that's a
yeah,
great
sir.
line.
So
That's a great
she
line.
doesn't talk in air. She when she talks, she has data with her. So I think, sir, मैं और अगर नहीं होता तो मैं उसको कमिट करती हूँ कि सी आई डोंट हैव इट, आई एम नॉट श्योर ऑन दिस, सो बिटर ट्रुथ सर, बट ट्रुथ है सर. So I think that's what people will remember, sir.
Wow, wonderful. Let me come to the end of our discussion and talk and this podcast.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank.
So,
Leadership is difficult because
so,
dash dash dash.
so, so, leadership is good question, sir. Though, leadership is difficult because it has made me what I am now, uh, and it has made me undergo challenges which I never thought I will accomplish.
Okay.
Um,
But
yeah,
but it is meaningful because dash dash dash.
meaningful because it has been difficult before.
That's a good one. I like that. Wonderful. What is that one advice Nitika would like to give? Commander Nitika would like to give. Corporate leader Nitika would like to give to leaders who are navigating through this uncertain times and who are looking for brighter times, better future.
Yeah, I
Your
would like
message.
to say to everyone is, and that's what I follow, is uh, kill yourself every day. Uh, and at the end of the day, you should know what you have learned different today. I think that matters a lot. And second is, it's okay not to be okay. You know, if you're not okay, you're doing very good. So don't don't compare. Compare yourself with not with others, but with yourself. So I think each day you'll improve. You will have data. You will say, "Oh, I did this today. What you did." Right?
That's great. That's great. I think if we can follow this, success is not far behind. At this juncture, let me uh, close the session. We'll talk of more things as times go by. I'll bring out more of your special qualities and show it to the world around. I wish you and Kal Sharma and your family best of times. Keep enjoying, keep rocking, keep running. Life is all
My
about
pleasure, sir.
enjoyment. Thank you so much for joining us. And for
Thank
the
you, sir.
readers, for the viewers, please follow Nitika. She's a great adventurer, wonderful leader. And do share it with your friends and families. If there are lessons that can help you in life, by all means, go ahead, take them because you get life only once. Thank you so much for joining my podcast, Jeevan Speaks. Nitika, thank you so much, viewers.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Jai Hind, sir.
Wish you
Thank
all
you.
great times. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Thank you so much, Nitika, for sharing your valuable insights and experiences. Your journey reminds me that a true leadership is all about integrity, resilience, and continuous growth. Charai veti, charai veti. And it is both in service and beyond. If you found this discussion enlightening and wish to explore leadership strategies, mentorship, or organizational guidance, I invite you to connect with me through my LinkedIn page. Let's continue the conversation. This conversation is to build the community of leaders, and these leaders are the ones who are committed to impact the society and bring in excellence across the board. Namaskar. Jai Hind.